Aloha guys, it's Roy with Ebikes Hawaii, and today we're going to take an in-depth look at the differences between electric bikes and mopeds. So just to be clear, this is not a bashing of mopeds video. We understand there's a lot of use cases. It's simply an objective comparison of two different forms of transportation. So we'll talk about some pros and the cons of both electric bikes and mopeds, and we'll draw a conclusion in the end about which is best for you. So first we'll talk about cost. Mopeds are relatively inexpensive, but for that category of mopeds, you're honestly looking at the potential of doing a lot of maintenance in the future. It's got a gas motor, so there's a lot more moving parts going on a moped. And so that's something you want to keep in mind. An electric bike, on the other hand, at least something of decent quality, the price point to buy in is quite a bit higher, but the maintenance and lifespan cost of an e-bike is potentially far less due to really not needing any maintenance on any of the electronics. It's all plug and play. And generally speaking, for e-bikes, it's just regular bicycle maintenance. That's all you need. So now we're going to talk about rideability. Some advantages of riding a moped is you can go further distances. You can stop off at the gas station, do a quick top off, and really extend your range quite easily. With an electric bike, you get the convenience of charging at home with a standard 110 wall outlet, but the range is a little bit more limited unless maybe you have spare batteries. Which can add up in cost. So in the range department, the moped definitely wins out. So mopeds, in regard to speed, you're looking at about, to the best of my knowledge, a top speed of about 30 miles an hour. I know some people do modify their mopeds to go faster. It makes sense, you're in traffic, you want to go kind of with the flow of traffic. E-bikes, on the other hand, averages about 20 to 28 miles an hour. When you're approaching 30 on an e-bike, you're going pretty dang fast. And the bike is really light too, so you really get that sensation of speed. I would say between the two, they're pretty comparable, but on the high end, the moped will probably edge out the electric bike. Where the e-bike has an advantage perhaps over a moped in the power department is the climbing ability. The mid-drive systems on electric bikes are really capable of going up steep hills. It utilizes all the gears. You're not going super fast, but it'll pretty much take you up anywhere. And then of course, riding an electric bike is a lot more similar to riding a bicycle. You're moving your legs. Most of the time you have to be putting pressure on the pedals to activate the power. And then on the moped, you're stationary, you're sitting down, you have a throttle. So there's pros and cons to each. On a moped, you don't really get exercise, but maybe you don't want the exercise necessarily. You just need to get somewhere. On an e-bike, a lot of times you're required to put at least some pedal input in, which is good. And so with an electric bike, when you're on the pedal assist mode, you can actually oftentimes choose how much assist you're getting from the bike. So it's pretty versatile. If you want to get more of a workout, you can turn down the power. If you want to just get somewhere quick, you can crank it up. And the bike's basically doing most of the work for you. And some e-bikes do have throttles, which you can ride like a moped, but not all of them do. So now we're going to talk a little bit about weight. This is where on the e-bike it really excels because they're much lighter. In general, they weigh anywhere from about 40 to 50 pounds and give you the ability to easily lift up the bike. If you need to transport it, put it in your house, you can pretty much, anybody can lift it up and do it really easily. With a moped, you're typically looking at several hundred pounds, and it's going to be much more difficult to transport. Let's say if it breaks down or you get a flat tire or something like that, you'll need to call a buddy up who has a truck and load it up. So that's one category where we feel that e-bikes have a really big advantage. Licensing. So now in the state of Oahu, e-bikes are required to be registered. It's a one-time fee of $30, and it's good for the lifetime of the e-bike. Just like a regular pedal bicycle, you pay a one-time fee and there's a sticker that goes on your bike and you're good to go. You don't need a driver's license, you don't need insurance, just a one-time registration. With a moped, it does require annual registration, safety checks, and you do need a driver's license, so that's one factor there. Maybe if you don't have a license, or maybe if you've gotten a DUI or something like that and you don't have an active driver's license, the e-bike would be the way to go. So now let's talk about the environmental effects. The electric bike in this category we feel has a huge advantage. There's no gas, there's no emissions, and there's no noise. So environmentally we think it's a huge bonus. You can ride around basically unnoticed. Most people, they just think you're on a regular pedal bike, and it doesn't produce any fumes or sounds that are going to bug people. So e-bikes in this category is definitely edges out the moped. So at the end of the day, we are going to be a little bit more biased to e-bikes, as that's what we do on a day-to-day basis. That's what we're passionate about. If you're not already familiar, or if you haven't tried one yet, we'd certainly encourage you to come down and try one out. If you're needing something with more range and maybe you're more comfortable on a scooter and that's the route you want to go, that's okay too. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.